Testing 1, 2.
Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order. If you would please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, we're going to recognize the media. We have Jen Kreider here from the Tribune News. Thank you for being here, Jennifer. Next, we have a special presentation of the Little Cats Early Learning Center.
Hello. Thanks for letting us talk about our newest addition to the Whitko Community Schools, and that is our Little Cats Early Learning Center. The one thing I think that's important to hopefully get out of this presentation is that it's not a daycare facility. It's a opportunity for daycare that includes a curriculum that is well planned from the infant through 5-year-olds that are here, that gives them a chance to grow and learn, progress from each level of the program up until they enter kindergarten. And eventually it's going to help those students that are part of this early learning center to hopefully become more ready when they enter kindergarten. But we've been blessed to have Jamie Payno and Sherry Searles partner with us to get this venture done. We worked hard and really we're going nowhere until Launchpad that is through the Kosciuszko Chamber of Commerce, and Sherry stepped into our lives, introduced Jamie, who then was more than eager to open this facility, not only as a director but marketing coordinator. We went from 0 to over 20 students right now with daily calls that are continuing to grow the enrollment. So it's very exciting, and look forward to Jamie sharing more about that, and then Sherry telling you a little bit of how she fits into this. And they have a special presentation tonight to give to the board and to our school corporation.
Thank you. So I am very thrilled to be here. I have been in education for 14 years. I went to Ball State University, and I have a minor in kindergarten and a major in elementary ed. And most recently, I've been getting my applied educational neuroscience degree from Butler University. And that is a fancy way of saying integrating social emotional learning into the classroom and teaching children about the brain and why it matters. So with that being said, I am excited to have this opportunity, and here are some special pictures that will be coming up in just a few moments for all of you of our first few days at Little Cats. I'm also very proud of the team that we've put together. These girls are working very hard and have stepped in and done what they've needed to do to be the best of the best for our students. And they fully understand my vision, and it's become our vision together. And I wanted to also thank you for helping fund this program. It's going to be and is an essential part of the community, and it will change the lives of children forever. And this is Sherry.
Thank you. Welcome to Whitko.
Thank you. I'm Sherry Searles. I'm the director of Launchpad, which is the Child Care and Early Learning Coalition for Kosciuszko County. Joe reached out to me back in June and said, we're trying to get this program going. Can you help? We want to open by August. And I said, okay, if we can find a dynamic director, we can get that done. And thankfully, Jamie's a former colleague of mine, and so I reached out to her, and she was so excited about this opportunity. Kosciuszko County is considered a child care desert. That was a title given to them by the governor's task force on early learning. And that means that there is only one child care seat for every 3 children that need care. And that's pretty typical of Indiana. And so this directly affects our parents, working parents' ability to go to work. It affects our local businesses' ability to attract and retain talent. And so we have been working hard with our initiative at the Chamber to grow childcare in the county. But as they alluded to, this isn't just about creating seats, it's about creating high-quality seats that are affordable to parents. And so I'm really thrilled that they have implemented a sliding fee scale and are working on being able to use vouchers so that all parents can afford this high-quality program. There's one more thing I was going to say, but I think there was some questions about licensing, maybe that the board members might have had. And as a school system, this program does qualify for some exemptions from licensure. That doesn't mean they can't become licensed in the future. To be able to open in 2 months, we needed to use those exemptions, but that's something that can be discussed as to whether or not they want to move forward with licensing. But for now, you are recognized by the state as a legally license-exempt program. Thank you.
Thank you for your partnership.
We also have a check to present. At Launchpad, we just recently had some money to give to programs that wanted to improve their quality. Jamie wrote a grant for some curriculum, and so we have a check here from Launchpad to Little Cats for $3,881 to purchase curriculum for the Little Cats Early Learning Center.
Thank you. Okay, next we have our approval of minutes. If the rest of the board does not mind, we could combine these 3. Let's take a little less time. If everyone had an opportunity to review them. Is that okay with everyone? Does anyone have a motion for the... Okay, do I have a second? Second. The motion's been made and seconded that we approve the minutes for July 19 executive session, July 19 regular meeting, on August 9 executive session. During discussion, seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Passes. Moving on to our reports. First up, we have Pearson Elementary Principal Shanon Layne.
If I may, Shannon, go ahead to the mic. But last board meeting, we approved Shannon, and he was not present. So I wanted to formally introduce him and welcome him as our new principal of Pearson. You're doing a great job. Thank you.
First and foremost, thank you very much. I am excited to continue to be a part of the Pearson Elementary School staff team, and I really truly believe that we are a team and that we make things better when we work together. That includes our administration, our teachers, our families, our students, and everyone in between those walls makes a valuable difference to the learning that takes place with our students. So I'm excited to continue that journey with our staff. We've got some great people, and I'm blessed to work with them. So thank you guys very, very much. I'm going to do a quick report. So teaching and learning update. This summer we continued our work with our curriculum development, and our teachers put in 4 or 5 curriculum days to work on developing those curriculum maps that they're utilizing in their daily lives now. on how do we best instruct students and what are the standards that we need to help our students be proficient at. So they kind of laid that groundwork, and they're continuing to utilize those in this academic year. Currently, we're working on procedures and routines so that we set ourselves up for success in the coming months. So teachers are working diligently on teaching students the procedures that they will have in their classrooms and the expectations that are had in their classrooms, as well as in the entire school building through our PBIS programming. We are very happy to be a TAP school, and that continues to be a strength at Pierceton Elementary. We are able to have a complete TAP instructional leadership team that includes our administration, our master teacher, and mentor teachers. And that's a great thing. You know, we have lots of teachers that are excited about the TAP process and about helping support each other. So I'm super excited that we can continue to have that be a problem, that we have more applicants and more qualified teachers than we have spots on our instructional leadership team. So that's a good problem to have. School climate, we overcame some adversity. As you may or may not know, back to school night went off with a little bit of a hitch. So Pierceton had our power outage on Wednesday, and we were 75% powered when back to school night came on. Safety in the, we had lights in the hallways, and we had teachers who said, you know what, I want to welcome our families back, and we did just that. They welcomed them, loved on them, got to meet their new students, and whether the lights were on or not. So our school counselor is going to focus on a word of the month. This month is cooperation, and it definitely takes a team and cooperation within our building to help all our students succeed. So we're excited about that. We will start our professional development through our cluster meetings in the upcoming weeks. So we are looking forward to that, and it's really focusing in on that team aspect and that family aspect that we want to bring back to Pierceton Elementary. We are starting cross country and volleyball in the coming days. So look for our Pierceton Cubs athletics teams, events and activities as the coming weeks unfold. We also had Pierceton Days, and we were able to have numerous staff participate in Pierceton Days, throwing out candy, welcoming and seeing all those families as they are cheering on the parade a couple weeks ago. So thank you guys very much, and I appreciate it.
Thank you. Sounds like a good start. And next we have Cecily Elementary, Bryan Emmert.
Yes, hello. Just to kind of reiterate what Mr. Layne had talked about, the staff has been working diligently on our new Engage New York and Zern Math, and we are still completing some of those things and tasks, but they've been working really hard on that. As a corporation testing coordinator, the NWA MAPS testing window will open up for fall on Monday, August 23rd, next week. So students will be taking math, reading, and some language usage, and that gives us some good baseline scores and growth for our students and cohort groups. The start of school, like Mr. Layne said, went off very well. Last Wednesday, we had our back-to-school night. After looking at attendance, we had about 90% of our parents and students show up, which was really, really good. And the building was packed, and we really were excited to see all the students coming back in. But I also wanted to say a big thank you. I know last time I talked about the custodial staff, transportation, and central office staff, but in order for school to go off now, there is a group of people that worked diligently over the summer to get our devices ready for students and our staff. So I want to thank our technology department and Jason Cline, and I know Pam Baker is here as well, that worked really hard getting our technology ready to go. As a part of our community, we have met with our mentor group host, Lori Starkey, and she will be starting our mentor groups for second semester starting in January. As a group, they decided to maybe hold off this first semester to see how things are going, and so our mentors will hopefully be back into the building come January. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Whitko Junior Senior High School, Amy Evans.
Good evening, everyone. Mr. Luce and I decided to do this together. We've been working hand in hand over the last couple weeks in terms of staffing and getting our schools ready, and just we really felt like it was important for us to be up here together. So I appreciate, again, he's been phenomenal to work with. So here at the high school, as far as student engagement, we had approximately 30 students that earned some credit through our APEX program. Mr. Benedict did a great job getting those students those credits that they needed. I had the fortune to hear our band's performance. They did a band camp, which was very successful, and then they put on a program, and it was really neat to see the kids out there, and they're good. So I do have music background, and I was really impressed with our kids and our director. We currently, when I checked last, had approximately 630 students enrolled for the school year. And like the other buildings, we had an amazing turnout. When they say the halls were packed, they were absolutely packed, which was really great to see that willingness for the families to come out. The kids were excited. They got their schedules. They got to meet their teachers. And it was just a phenomenal experience for them. So again, staffing, which we've worked with, I'm sure you guys have seen the agenda. There's a lot on the list. We are definitely feeling the national teacher shortage, and we're working together getting creative solutions. But one thing I wanted to ensure is we're not just going to put a body in the classroom to put somebody in there. We're going to have people who are going to give our kids the quality education they deserve. So we do have some positions yet to fill, but again, we're working together. We're reaching out to people. We're going after those quality educators. Instruction and evaluation, we're working to begin that after Labor Day. Our master teachers and mentor are working together to create the best clusters for our students. And then I will also be getting training in TAP coming up in September, along with anyone else in the school that needs that training. And I'm looking forward to that because TAP is a good program, so really looking forward to that.
Sounded great. As Amy stated, we've had a chance to really work close, hand in hand, to not only open both buildings to begin the new school year, but to work on staffing together, sharing ideas with each other, and it's been really a breath of fresh air to be able to have somebody you trust in that position that's supporting you, and I'm trying to do the same back. But I can tell you I've been doing this for 27 years, and the Whitko Junior Senior High School's leadership is in good hands. We'll continue to move forward, to put in place our home campus in South Whitley is where our students attend, and the Whitko Career Academy is an extension of that great campus. So we've done everything we can to get off to a great start, and thank you. So again, us being up here together hopefully shows the strength that we're trying to bring both buildings together for our children and our community. Just a couple things. The daycare presentation hopefully was refreshing for everybody to see a great program that's coming to our district. She talked about the commitment from the board to get things started. By the time we are through the school year, she will be able to fully fund that program with grants, with the money that comes in that runs through the corporation office. So that will not be of any cost to our corporation. And I wouldn't say that publicly to go on record if that was not something that was very clear, set up with the organization and support from Sherry, the hard work from Jamie, that is where this program will end up, and something that will benefit us for years to come. On the 9th, we had a ribbon cutting ceremony. We had leaders from both Whitley and Kosciuszko County that joined us, as well as important figures in our school corporation, and we were able to have a ribbon cutting ceremony that started this venture, and that was a very good day. But some of the other collaborations that take place within the building with the new Little Cats Early Learning Center, our early childhood education program that's led by Angie Irwin. They'll be doing their classroom hours just right down the hallway in that early learning center. Right now there are 23 students, I believe, in that program that will get a chance to experience that, as well as experiencing also opportunities in the elementary schools. And then Mallory Pierce in the culinary has partnered with Jamie to help supply the breakfast and the lunch and work with kids on menu planning, presentation of the food. Hospitality fits into their curriculum, so she's helping to provide the food for the daycare and making sure that is part of all the procedures of the licensure that we had to get for our kitchen, which we have, and they're able to do that. So that's exciting. And then finally, the last thing that I thought was pertinent to share with you about the Career Academy. We started our Career Safe program for all 12 career pathway classes at the Whitko Career Academy. Students will complete OSHA certification as well as certification in employability skills in all of our career pathway classes. And that gets them started off with all the safety knowledge that they need before they partake into their career field that they've chosen. So this is quite a commitment that our students and staff have made, and really exciting that they'll get those OSHA certifications, those cards to carry with them for years to come as they go out into the world of seeking employment. So thank you.
Up next, we have Director of Alternative Programs, Ms. Benedict.
Good evening. Thank you for having me tonight. Alternative school-wise, this year we got 24 students currently enrolled in that alternative program, as well as multiple Apex courses to meet those graduation requirements, so they'll be good to go by the end of the year. Hopefully those kids are excited and have a different learning opportunity ahead for them. Mrs. Evans also mentioned in the summer Apex courses that ended on August 6th, we had 31 students that completed courses this summer. Some of them had multiple courses. We gave out a total of 54 credits this summer that were earned in our Apex program, our summer program. Scheduling wise, we've enrolled like 37 new students over the past couple of weeks, and we're still enrolling them as we're talking, so to speak. We've worked really hard schedule changes for the first 2 days of school, getting those taken care of, cleaning those up, and we'll continue to work diligently to finalize those as quickly as we can. Kind of going through that scheduling process, enrolling those new students. Ms. Jean Kessie has been absolutely fantastic in that help in regards to getting that done, as well as Pam Baker with Power School and Jason Cline. I was enrolling a family today with 2 students, and Power School went down, and then 15 minutes later, Jason had it up and going, and those parents waited patiently, and we got them all scheduled into classes and got them in classes today. So just appreciate their work as they're kind of going through that as well, and we'll continue to work diligently as fast as we can to get those schedules taken care of and get everybody where they need to be. So thank you.
We have Special Education Director Allison.
Good evening, everyone. So the past few weeks has been a very interesting and wonderful time of learning, and the Whitko Community School staff has been just so incredibly welcoming and accommodating as I've been getting acclimated to the Director of Special Services office. I would like to thank Mr. Pivarnik, and I would like to thank my administrative assistant, Mrs. Sally Gilbert, just for their wisdom and the assistance that they've been giving me. They've been such a great help. So for our teachers, I have purchased books that will support our teachers in providing formative assessments to our students, just giving them strategies and ways that they can take the data from their formative assessments and apply that to enrich student learning. And so once those books come in, I will be supplying those to the teachers, and so we can do kind of an informal book study with teachers so that they can improve in that area. I've also been busy with submitting grants, meeting requirements and deadlines provided by the IDOE. And so these grants will be helpful in providing more materials to our teachers as well as services to our students. So that will assist in seeing an improvement in academic achievement. And that's definitely something that we want to see here at Whitko. School has begun, and our special education department has been working very hard to make sure that our students are prepared for classes, that they're receiving the accommodations and the remediation and enrichment that they need to do well. I want to thank Mr. Jim Bumbaugh for his hard work and his staff in ensuring that the transportation needs of our students that are being met. We have some varying needs with our students, and it takes a lot of complication and a lot of strategy, and Mr. Jim Bumbaugh has been doing a great job with that, and I'm so appreciative. There are still several positions in our special education department that are available. Data supports that this is not simply a Whitko issue. This is a national issue that we're dealing with right now. But in the meantime, the administrative team and I have been interviewing potential candidates and hiring the ones that best support our needs and our vision. Like what Mrs. Evans said, we're not just simply putting warm bodies in the position. We want to make sure that they are going to be the best possible options for our students. And so that's something that we are definitely looking for. And in the meantime, our special education staff has been doing an amazingly incredible job of making sure that no educational gaps are happening. Really, our staff is really stepping up, and I've been so amazed and so appreciative by our staff's incredible dedication to their students. They are working very hard, and I'm so appreciative. I'm just really grateful to be part of this community, and we're looking forward to a wonderful year.
Thank you. Next up, we have technology. Cline.
Good evening. This is the first time I've been able to give a report all summer because of everything has just been a little bit crazy. But we got through the summer with several projects completed and a few that are still in progress. Just to summarize a little bit, we had a rocky start, but we have begun installing new security cameras at Whitko Junior Senior High, and we will be adding cameras at each location as we go. Pardon me. We have installed smart TVs in nearly every classroom at Pierceton Elementary and South Whitley Elementary. We've set up the new Konica copiers and Lexmark printers, expanded our availability for those, and gotten everything up and running with that. Nearly every Windows machine in the corporation has been reformatted, re-imaged, reset up, prepared for this year. We've added several labs for both the high school and the Career Academy, and we have gotten all of our staff up to date with the newest updates. There's been a lot of reorganization on the network, making the teacher devices work better with the televisions and such, and we have gotten all of the user accounts ready for the upcoming school year. It's been a very busy summer, but we believe we are pretty well prepared to go forward, and just bear with us as we take care of everything as we go along. The team has really pulled together and gotten a lot done, and I am looking forward to seeing what happens next.
Thank you. Thanks for getting everything ready for our students and teachers. And maintenance, we can't have our John Irwin's not here tonight. So we will move on to transportation maintenance and Bumbaugh.
Good evening. Just a couple of things to add to the update. The plasma air installation of all the buildings has been completed. I just need to get with Train to do a scheduled walkthrough to inspect the installation and sign off on that. And hopefully that's going to be beneficial to all of our buildings as far as the air filtration. The first day of school, if you remember, we had encountered a severe thunderstorm with hail, down trees, and the first day of school is stressful enough, trying to get back in the groove, but this threw a curve that was unprecedented that I can remember. The bus drivers, the staff in the transportation department were absolutely outstanding. My blood pressure was through the roof, but I tell you, by the end of the morning, after those buses came in, a few of them were just a few minutes late. In the big scheme of things, there was just a couple of glitches. So it just speaks volumes of the dedication to the employees of the Whitko Community Schools, the transportation staff, and the bus drivers. Also, the custodial staff that prepared these buildings to welcome students and parents in. The high school, the painting project, wrapped up just over what they had told us it was going to be completed by, but it really looks nice. We've got some touching up to do, but by and large, that building looks outstanding. So I just want to commend all the staff in the transportation maintenance departments The new administrators that are on board here, I think we're going to mold well together. I think after they get acclimated to the operations, it's going to go extremely well. So, thank you.
Thank you. That was a huge storm the first day, right when kids were coming. Next, we have our superintendent update.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Layne, is that your family with you? Yes. Would you introduce?
My family, sorry.
No, please introduce them.
This is my wife, Tara. My son, Evan, who's so excited. And my son, Caleb.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Well, you know, I sat and listened. We all sat and listened to your reports, and they're impressive as always. But being on the in the day-to-day activities with you guys and seeing all that you do on the ground, all that you do with your staff, and what you and your staff and all of our staff has done to get us off to a really good start. It's just incredible. Your organization, your hard work is greatly appreciated. You're a great team. And when I made my building tours the first day, I went building to building, I was, I should say, amazed but not surprised, knowing your professionalism, how well the buildings were running and how smooth things were going. You're just because of you and your great staff and your organization, get off to a really great start. Really appreciate that. So kudos to all of you and your staff. Enrollment numbers are really good this year. We have a total enrollment of all our schools at 1,270 and climbing. That's 27 more students than we had at the start of school last year. So those are positive numbers for Whitko. The Beatles made a good record off of something like that one. But so we're really off to a good start number-wise, and we're really proud of that and excited about that. And one more quick thing. I know the president's saying I'm not going to give him time to talk anymore. He talks too much. But starting next week with the communications department at the Career Academy, I'm going to be doing a weekly podcast. So I'm looking forward to that. So you can be looking for that too. So with that, I finished my report. Thank you. What's that?
All right, next up we have public comment, and we have one, Jim Eiler, to talk about special needs program.
I've got a daughter that is in the special needs program at Whitko. She's got Down syndrome and very close to us. And upon going to back to school night the other night, just some concerns I wanted to talk about. Asked for Mr. Osborne as we went into the room, and three ladies, the assistants or whatever, that help with the kids there, dropped their heads and not real happy with the information I found out that Mr. Osborne was gone, plus, you know, Mr. Layman was gone. And I don't know if you know it, but these kids do not do well with change. And that's all we've had in this program is change. And, you know, I talked to a few people about, you know, I appreciate people that move on because they can better themselves or they find something that's that dream job or whatever. Most of the comments I got that night were they weren't happy with the direction that Whitko is going in these programs. And I'm very concerned about it. And with that being said, you know, this starts with the top, whether it be personal agendas, hearsay, whatever. We need to keep these teachers for these kids, whether it be the valedictorian or these special needs kids that, you know, have all these challenges. We cannot have it. So, thank you.
Next up, we have business reports and consent agenda items. I had a motion.
Couple questions on claims. I think probably it's already been answered, but this $106,000, that must be for cameras, that security cameras? Okay. And the Blue River Digital, $12,863, is WCA replacement. Recently, we paid them $151,000 and another. We paid them. This is the third claim we've had from them. I'm just curious as to what this.
All right, Blue River Digital,
Yes,
for how much?
12,863. 816-4443 is the number on it.
All right, I'll look it up and get back with you on that. Thank you.
And there's one more Office 360. $7,058.14 for WCA furniture. If I remember correctly, we paid one last month for about the same amount. Is that possible? If that's a mistake, if we're paying the same claim twice?
Could be recurring. I'll find out.
Okay,
I'll
thank
shoot you an email. Look for an email on the group board Whitko. Thank you.
Need a motion? A second? Any other further discussion? I guess I have something to discuss, and that is that we're lacking a counselor. It looks like we're not filling one of our counselors' positions. We normally have two counselors.
No, I can't.
We normally have two counselors,
Okay.
Now we're down to one. I know we're approving one tonight.
That's
Are we
correct.
going to advertise for a second counselor?
We are at some point in time. We're restructuring that right now.
Okay. Because according to the American School Counselor Association, they recommend a ratio of 250 to 1 counselor.
Mm-hmm.
In Indiana, the average is 486 to 1, and we are at 631 to 1.
Right.
Where we only have one. So I just hope that we will have another counselor. Long before here, we had 4 counselors for the middle school and the high school. And right now we only have one.
Jobs posted. It's on our posting. If you look at our website, it's on there. No.
Hiring for tonight. Okay, awesome. That's great
As mentioned
news.
earlier tonight in the report, there's
Okay.
a national shortage, and we're doing a bit.
Yes, there is. There certainly is.
We don't want just bodies.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda items as presented. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to new business, we have an update for COVID-19. It's recommended that the district continues to consider Indiana Department of Education health recommendations and guidelines during the public health emergency in terms of social distancing, personal hygiene, and building sanitation. They are still allowing us to make it mask optional, correct?
Can we introduce the new business manager first?
Oh, sure.
It's kind of it's an important position. We had 5 big positions to fill over the summer administratively, and our last one that we needed to fill was an extremely difficult position to find. That's the business manager. And there's several of those CFOs and business managers posted around the area, and Whitko is very fortunate to get a very high-quality business manager who's on a job sitting back there. I'd like him to stand up. Lynn Leniger is our new business manager. I just want to introduce him to the community because we're very, very pleased to have you, and thank you.
Thank you for joining us. And so back to the COVID, thank you. Masks are optional, correct? Still optional?
Yes, nothing has changed. We're not in the red area yet. There's no mandate, so masks are optional. We're still doing the same disinfected of the buildings and so forth. It's just that we did make note in here that the CARES Act no longer applies as far as supplanting any funds for if a staff member, it was at one time, if a staff member contracted COVID and had to be home, then the CARES Act would kick in and help to fund that contract. The CARES Act isn't there anymore to do that, so they have to use sick days.
And that is true for all schools?
That's for
Yes.
us, yes. That's statewide, nationwide, actually, yeah.
Do I have a motion?
I move that we adopt the COVID-19 plan update as listed in our agenda.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of accepting the COVID-19 plan update as presented signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion passes. If the board does not mind, the next two items, Whitko Elementary Handbook and Whitko Junior Senior High School, we should have two there, handbooks. We have all had the opportunity to read them. Does anyone mind if we put those two together for one vote? If you want to discuss anything, we can, of course. Okay, do I have a motion for 7.2, the handbooks?
I make a motion that we adopt those.
Thank you. A second? Okay. Any further discussion?
Second.
Thank you. Seeing no discussion, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of accepting the presented handbooks for the school year for the elementary and junior senior high school, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
You need to vote.
Question?
I just wondered, I didn't see the junior senior.
It is the junior senior, it was in the board packet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
So I think that must be a typo.
the staff and.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
And miscellaneous administrative items. Mr. Pivarnik, do you have anything else to add?
Mr. Tenney, was your vote recorded for that last motion? I'm not sure they heard your vote.
I voted
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to
Great.
make sure it wasn't.
There was nothing, there was nothing
more
crazy in
items.
it. So, all right. And anything further, Mr. Pivarnik?
Not for me.
Okay. All right. Our next board meeting is here on Monday, September 20th at 6:30 p.m. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'd like to make a comment that I went to the back to school night at the high school and it was really well run. It was very organized and there was a lot of people there. It was nice to see. I was a little bit concerned though that I had multiple employees from the high school tell me that last year they'd had a board member in there telling them that certain employees wouldn't be back next year or they'd make sure that these employees weren't coming back. And they expressed concerns to me about that the board, we need to be cognitive of what we say and what we do when we enter buildings and that we make sure that we know our role. And one of them mentioned to me, well, why do we even have evaluations if our employment future is based on the whims of the board, which is not right now what we want. So I just wanted to bring that note up. It was brought up to me by more than one person and that we just need to make sure that we're on track and that we think about what we're doing when we're in the building. So that's all.
Can we adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Thank you.
Second.
All those opposed or all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.